You know what's funny? Most riders think their bike breaks down because of bad luck or cheap parts. But here's the truth: 9 times out of 10, it's actually because of the rider's habits. That's right. The way you treat your motorcycle every single day could be slowly killing it, and you won't even notice until it's too late. So, today, we're going to break down the 10 motorcycle habits that are destroying your ride from the inside out. Some of these might surprise you. Some of them you're probably guilty of. And the worst part? They don't just kill your bike, they drain your wallet too. Let's dive right in. Number one, riding with low tire pressure. Tires are literally the shoes of your motorcycle. And just like you wouldn't go running in worn out sneakers, you shouldn't ride on poorly inflated tires. The truth is, tire pressure changes everything: handling, braking, cornering, even fuel economy. When your pressure is too low, your contact patch, that little bit of tire that actually touches the road, gets bigger. Sounds like more grip, right? Wrong. It flexes the rubber in ways it's not meant to, heating it up, wearing it down unevenly, and making it far more likely to fail when you least expect it. Plus, low tire pressure messes with your suspension. Suddenly, the bike feels sluggish in corners. It doesn't respond as quickly. And your braking distance increases dramatically. Think about that. An emergency stop on low tires could be the difference between stopping short or hitting the bumper in front of you. The kicker? This is one of the easiest problems to avoid. A simple gauge check before your ride takes less than a minute. Set your pressures according to the manufacturer's spec, cold, not after you've been riding. Keep an eye on them regularly, because temperature swings, slow leaks, or just sitting in the garage can change them. Do this, and not only will your tires last longer, but you'll feel the difference in how confidently your bike handles. A cheap little pressure gauge can save you hundreds of dollars in rubber and maybe even save your life. Number two, ignoring chain maintenance. If the tires are your shoes, the chain is the muscle in your legs. It's what takes all that raw power from the engine and actually puts it on the road. Without it, you're going nowhere. Yet so many riders neglect it, riding until it's squeaking, clunking, or worse, snapping. And trust me, you do not want to be the guy whose chain breaks at 70 miles per hour. Here's the thing: your chain is constantly exposed to dirt, water, and grime from the road. Every rotation is grinding that stuff into the links and rollers. Without cleaning and lubrication, that friction chews away at your chain, your sprockets, and even your gearbox output shaft. And once it's worn, it doesn't just make noise. It robs you of smooth power delivery, makes your throttle feel jerky, and eventually leaves you stranded. The fix? Regular love. Clean your chain every 500 to 700 miles, or more often if you ride in rain or dirt. Lube it with the right motorcycle chain lube, not WD-40, and make sure the tension is set correctly. Too tight and you're stressing your transmission bearings. Too loose and it'll slap around like a bad drum solo. A healthy chain makes your bike feel tight, responsive, and smooth. Neglect it, and you're setting yourself up for an expensive repair or a dangerous failure. Think of chain care as cheap insurance that pays you back every single ride. Number three, revving on a cold engine. I get it. We all love the sound of our bike. That deep growl or high-pitched scream makes the hair stand up on your neck. But here's the cold truth: revving your engine right after startup is one of the fastest ways to shorten its life. When your bike sits overnight or longer, all the oil drains down into the sump. The top end of the engine, the valves, cams, cylinder walls, is practically dry. When you hit the starter, the oil pump begins circulating again, but it takes a few moments to reach all those critical parts. If you start blipping the throttle before the oil has made its way around, you're forcing metal against metal at high speed. That's microscopic wear happening every time, and over months and years, it adds up to a tired, noisy, less reliable motor. Think of it like your own body. Would you walk out of bed and immediately try to sprint a 100-meter dash? Of course not. You'd stretch, move around, get your blood flowing. Your bike needs the same warm-up. The proper way? Start it. Let it idle for 30 to 60 seconds and ride off gently. You don't need to let it sit and idle for 10 minutes. Modern engines warm up better under light load. Just avoid high revs until your temperature gauge shows the engine is in its normal range. Treat your motor with patience, and it'll reward you with years of smooth, powerful rides. Rev it cold, and you're slowly shaving miles off its lifespan. 4. Resting your hand on the clutch lever. This one is sneaky because it feels so harmless. You're cruising down the road, maybe relaxed, maybe a little tense in traffic, and without thinking, your fingers are draped over the clutch lever. Not pulling it in all the way, not really using it, just resting there. The problem? That light pressure is often enough to cause a tiny amount of clutch slip, even if you don't realize it. Over miles and miles of riding, that small slip adds up. The clutch plates heat up, the friction material wears away faster, and before long, you're noticing the clutch feels mushy, vague, or just not biting the way it used to. Replacing a clutch isn't cheap. Between the parts and labor, you're looking at a repair bill in the hundreds, sometimes more, depending on your bike. And all of that could be avoided by simply changing this one little habit. The clutch lever is there for a reason, but it's not a handle to hold onto while you ride. Think of it like the trigger on a power tool. You wouldn't keep your finger resting on it the whole time, right? Same logic here. A better habit is keeping your hands wrapped around the grips, with your fingers ready but not resting on the lever. When it's time to shift, you'll know. When you're just riding, let the clutch rest. Your bike will thank you, your wallet will thank you, and you'll be building cleaner, sharper riding habits. 5. Lugging the engine. Few things make a motorcycle sound sadder than being lugged. You know the feeling. Rolling along in too high a gear at too low an RPM. The engine shudders. The bike feels rough, and it almost sounds like the motor is coughing out a protest. Come on, downshift already. Some riders do this because they think they're saving fuel, or maybe because they're too lazy to drop a gear. But here's the truth. Lugging does way more harm than good. At low RPMs, the engine is struggling to keep the bike moving. The crankshaft, bearings, connecting rods, and transmission are all under stress they weren't designed to handle. The combustion cycle isn't smooth at those revs, which means parts are literally fighting each other inside the engine. Instead of saving gas, you're actually making your engine work harder, burning fuel inefficiently, and shortening the life of critical components. Motorcycles are built to rev. That's where they're happiest, inside their power band. Whether you're on a sport bike that likes to scream at higher RPMs or a cruiser that's got its grunt lower down, your bike was engineered to deliver smooth power when you keep it in the right range. Riding in the power band also makes you safer. You've got instant throttle response available if you need to accelerate out of a situation. Lugging leaves you flat footed with no real power on tap if something unexpected happens. So if you feel the bike shaking, stuttering, or just sounding unhappy, don't torture it. Downshift. Keep it where it wants to be. It'll ride smoother, last longer, and you'll enjoy the ride a whole lot more. 6. Resting your foot on the brake pedal. Here's another silent killer of motorcycle parts. You might not even notice you're doing it, but if you're riding with your foot lightly pressed on the rear brake pedal, you're slowly cooking your braking system. That tiny bit of pressure creates constant friction between the brake pads and the rotor. Over time, this builds up heat, lots of it. What happens when brakes overheat? The pads glaze, the rotors warp, and your stopping power gets worse and worse. That's the scary part. You'll need the brakes most in an emergency. But if you've been riding with your foot resting on the pedal, they might not respond the way they should. Instead of a strong, confident stop, you'll get weak bite and maybe even brake fade. And let's not forget the money side of things. Brake pads aren't cheap to keep replacing, and rotors cost even more. The fix is simple, but takes awareness. Relax your foot. Keep it rested on the peg, not hovering or pressing on the pedal. When you need the rear brake, you'll be ready, but when you don't, let it breathe. It also helps with smoother riding. Your bike will roll more freely, the engine will feel less strained, and you won't accidentally confuse drivers behind you with a constantly glowing brake light. Think of your brakes like a safety parachute. You want them fresh, ready, and powerful when you need them most. Don't burn them out by riding with your foot half engaged the whole time. Number 7, ignoring regular oil changes. Let's be honest, changing oil is one of those chores that's way too easy to push off. You look at the odometer, think, it'll last another couple hundred miles. And before you know it, you've stretched that service interval into something your bike was never designed for. But here's the thing, oil is literally your engine's lifeblood. It doesn't just lubricate moving parts, it helps cool them, reduces friction, and carries away microscopic metal shavings and debris that would otherwise chew your engine up from the inside. When you skip an oil change, that lifeblood turns into sludge. It gets thick, dirty, and loses its ability to do its job. That means metal on metal contact, hotter running temps, and a slow but sure decline in performance. At first, maybe you'll just notice your bike sounding a little louder, running a little rougher. Then one day, you're dealing with worn out bearings, scored cylinders, or even full on engine failure. And here's the painful truth, it's almost always preventable. The worst part? Most riders don't even use the correct oil to begin with. Motorcycle engines are very different from cars. They often share oil with the transmission, meaning the oil has to protect gears and clutches too. Using the wrong grade or cheap automotive oil can lead to clutch slip, poor lubrication, and overheating. It's one of those corners that's just not worth cutting. Think of it this way, an oil change is one of the cheapest forms of insurance you'll ever buy for your bike. A couple quarts of quality oil and a filter every few thousand miles can save you from repairs that cost thousands. Skipping it is like refusing to brush your teeth because the dentist is too expensive. You'll pay for it later, and it won't be pretty. So here's the takeaway. Set reminders, keep track of your intervals, and stick to what the manufacturer recommends. If you ride hard, tour long distances, or spend time in extreme temperatures, change it even sooner. Fresh oil equals a happy engine, and a happy engine equals a bike that'll run strong for decades instead of dying young. Number 8, overloading your bike. Now let's talk about something we're all guilty of at one point or another. Packing our bikes like they're moving trucks. Whether it's camping gear strapped sky high, a passenger with too much luggage, or just everyday hauling, overloading your motorcycle is a slow killer that most riders don't think about until it's too late. Your motorcycle was engineered with very specific weight limits called Gross Vehicle Weight Rating, GVWR. That includes your weight, your passenger, your luggage, and the bike itself. When you consistently ride over that number, every single component of your bike is under stress. It was never designed to handle. Suspension components compress too far. Shocks wear out faster, forks bottom out, and the whole geometry of your bike gets thrown off. Suddenly, that smooth handling machine feels sluggish in corners, wobbly at speed, and downright scary when you try to brake. And let's not forget tires. Overloading puts insane pressure on them, leading to faster wear, uneven tread, and a higher risk of blowouts. A blowout in a car is bad. On a motorcycle, it's potentially fatal. Add in the strain on your frame and swing arm, and you've got damage that isn't just expensive to fix, it can permanently compromise the bike's safety. The irony is, most riders don't even realize how much weight they're stacking on. Touring with hard panniers, top boxes, camping gear, tools, and a passenger, you could easily be 100 pounds over the limit without even knowing it. If your bike feels like it's bottoming out every time you hit a pothole or speed bump, that's your machine screaming at you for mercy. The fix is simple. Pack smart and know your limits. Check your manual for the GVWR, weigh your gear if you have to, and distribute the load evenly. If you tour often, consider upgrading your suspension to handle the extra weight, or even step up to a bike designed for heavy touring. And when in doubt, less is more. Take what you truly need, not your whole garage. At the end of the day, your bike isn't a pack mule. Treat it with respect, and it'll reward you with safe, stable, and fun rides. Push it past its limits, and you're just setting yourself up for expensive repairs and dangerous handling. Trust me, your spine and your motorcycle will thank you. Number 9, hard parking practices. Here's something most riders don't even think about: how they park their bike. You can ride smooth, shift perfectly, keep your chain oiled. But if you treat your parking routine like an afterthought, you're quietly shortening the life of your motorcycle. Think about it. Every time you slam it into first gear before shutting off, you're not just being rough, you're putting unnecessary strain on the transmission. Do that long enough, and don't be surprised when shifting feels clunky or a gear dog's out. Then there's the sun. Constantly leaving your bike to bake in direct sunlight doesn't just fade the paint, it bakes your plastics, weakens your seat cover, and even dries out rubber seals. That gorgeous shine you love? UV rays are killing it one hot afternoon at a time. And don't get me started on people who think it's fine to park on soft ground or a hot asphalt patch. One shift in weight and your bike tips over, snapping mirrors, scratching paint, or bending levers. Suddenly, that quick stop costs you $100 or more. And here's the sneaky one: road salt and grime. Leaving your bike dirty, especially after winter rides or rainy days, lets salt and moisture eat away at metal parts. That's how you end up with rusted bolts, seized brake calipers, and pitted forks. A simple rinse could save you hundreds in repairs, but a lot of riders ignore it. So treat parking like part of maintenance. Always use a proper spot, avoid the soft ground, don't leave it roasting in the sun if you can help it, and give it a rinse if you rode through salt or dirt. Even little habits like using a cover at home or shutting it down in neutral instead of slamming into gear make a massive difference over the years. Parking isn't just where you stop, it's how long your bike stays healthy. Number 10, neglecting coolant and brake fluid. Let's be honest. When was the last time you checked your coolant level or thought about your brake fluid? If you had to pause, you're not alone. Most riders baby their oil and maybe their chain, but coolant and brake fluid? Totally forgotten until something goes wrong. And by then, it's usually expensive. Here's the truth: coolant isn't just there for show. It keeps your engine from overheating and protects the inside of your cooling system from corrosion. Old coolant loses those protective qualities. Instead of cooling properly, it turns acidic and starts eating at your radiator, water pump, and seals. One overheated ride, and you could be staring at a warped head gasket, or worse. That cheap oversight can cost you more than a season's worth of maintenance in repairs. Brake fluid might be even more dangerous to ignore. Unlike coolant, which you can usually catch with a rising temp gauge, brake fluid fails silently. It's hygroscopic, meaning it absorbs water over time. That water lowers the boiling point of the fluid, so when your brakes heat up under hard riding, you can suddenly lose stopping power. The lever goes soft, the pads don't bite like they should, and in an emergency, that could be the difference between stopping safely and rear-ending a car. And yet, swapping out brake fluid takes less than an hour and costs peanuts compared to replacing warped rotors or rebuilding calipers. Same with coolant. It's a simple flush, maybe every 2 years, and your engine stays protected. So here's the takeaway: don't just focus on oil and forget the rest. Fluids are your bike's lifeblood, and all of them matter. Check your coolant, swap your brake fluid, and don't ride around thinking it's probably fine. Because the day it's not fine, the damage is already done. So there you have it: 10 habits that might not seem like a big deal at first, but over time they add up to a destroyed motorcycle and a drained wallet. The bottom line: treat your bike like it's alive, because in a way, it is. Every little bit of care you put in comes back to you tenfold in performance, reliability, and joy on the road. Now, let me ask you, be honest. How many of these habits are you guilty of? Drop it in the comments, because I guarantee every rider has done at least a few of these at some point. And if you're serious about keeping your bike alive longer and riding smarter, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I've got way more tips coming that'll save your ride, your wallet, and maybe even your life. Ride safe, and I'll catch you in the next one.